Brett Howden has officially ended his testimony. This is part 1 of my Day 25 recap of the 2018 Team Canada SA trial. If you're new here, I'm providing daily updates on the trial, so make sure you follow so you never miss anything. And all events discussed in this video are still alleged at this time. Cal Foot's lawyer shows Howden the video of him and EM dancing on the dance floor. Howden spun EM around. They look to be holding hands, and at one point, her backside is up against his front. The lawyer asked him, quote, "You're holding hands?" Then Howden responded with, quote, "I'm just saying what I seen, and I didn't see us holding hands." The lawyer then came back at him and said, quote, "You're leaning down, either kissing her neck or right in her neck space." Howden then responds, "I don't think that's fair to say. I think it's hard to see what I'm doing." The lawyer then played the video again, and then she then said, quote, "It's not a criticism of your conduct at all that evening. I want you to identify that you had a pretty close contact with her on the dance floor." Howden then responded, quote, "Yeah, you're right." He agreed, and that they talked and that they danced, and then he then introduced her to McLeod, and then he danced again with her. The court was then shown an interview that Howden did with Hockey Canada investigators on July 3rd, 2018, and he's asked if he remembers the woman from room 209 earlier in the night at Jack's. He said, quote, "I remember seeing her in the middle of the dance floor, but that's the first time I've ever seen her. I was dancing with the girls, she was part of the mixture, I never said anything to her really." The lawyer then said that that's not at all what the video shows, and that he is minimizing his interaction with EM. Howden then said that it was just a few minutes of a long night and he didn't remember seeing EM. He said, quote, "I don't think that it's fair that a couple of minutes out of a whole night that you just expect to know this girl that I've met for the first time in my life." The lawyer then responded with, quote, "I guess things aren't fair, are they?" In 2023, Howden was interviewed again by the London police after they reopened the investigation. He told the officers that he didn't remember the woman in the hotel room from Jack's. He also told the officers that he, quote, "remembers glancing at her at the bar, and that was really just it." The lawyer then said that he never really thought he did anything wrong at Jack's or in the hotel room, and that he was minimizing his contact with EM to reduce damage to his reputation and career. Howden says he was worried about the damage, but he's telling the truth to the best of his recollection. In 2022, Howden learned that a lawsuit against Hockey Canada that was launched by EM and names 8 John Doe defendants, which had been settled. The lawyer suggested that Howden also realizes that there are allegations in the lawsuit of sexual acts that he didn't mention to Hockey Canada investigators in 2018. Hockey Canada is threatening players with, quote, "naming and shaming if they don't participate in more interviews with Hockey Canada in 2022. Howden agrees that in 2022, he was worried and afraid of his career, perhaps even more than he was in 2018. Then in 2022, Howden was asked by investigators if anyone else called back then. That's when he, quote, threw out Cal Foot's name to, quote, give some explanation because he didn't mention Foot originally. Howden disagreed with that statement from the lawyer. The lawyer then suggested that Foot never actually called Howden, and Howden made that up to explain why he never mentioned Foot when he initially spoke to investigators. Howden then disagreed again. That was it for all the cross-examinations from the defense lawyers.